4, 3, 2, 1.
I guess off lane, if I had to choose a core role, would probably be the most likely.
Yeah. But something he does, something Fnatic do a bit, but I think T1 do even more, yeah, is this last pick of the offlane. Saving that last pick for himself. And he feels like Necro is the hero for this game, so...
I respect it, man. You know, you have some self-confidence. You say, I'm going to take over these games. I think Nightstalker kind of fell out of favor. They had picked out the first 2 games they played this tournament and lost both. But, seems like these high-pressure ranged heroes like Veno and Necro have a place in this meta, but you don't have too much wiggle room with them. You know, we saw what happened at DM last game. He was like super powerful, controlling the pace of the game, had like 1 or 2 slip-ups, and then felt like T1 could just ignore him. What is Dove saying there, do you know?
No.
I don't either. I was asking you.
I like this part because we can just shut up for 30 seconds until they're done.
With the voice lines, yeah. You gotta get it out of your system.
Yeah. It's always when they're running out to lanes that everyone spams all of this and then they go on cooldown for a bit.
That's true. I actually forget they have cooldowns.
Yeah.
So 60 seconds for all chat and 30 seconds for ally chat.
So T1 lose their ward. That feels like some pre-game, you know, an analyst ward finding, and then they double back, come back in. They want the kill on save, and they're gonna get it. They tip him. Cuckoo, he's the captain. He last picks his hero. He steals first blood. This man making sure his game goes well.
This man's a Chad. Very alpha.
Yeah.
As he also leveled Cookie on Snapfire. That's definitely not the ability you want.
That's maybe why they were tipping him as well, because you know it wasn't obviously gives up first blood, but trying to save himself with a cookie and yeah.
Looks like they're trying to get a tri-lane kill bottom. They have a very scary lane, Sven stun, Cookie. I guess if they want to go for a kill, Cookie's fine.
They're scouted though. There is a lane ward there, so not sure I see this working.
Earthshaker blocked for himself top, so he doesn't necessarily need help with first creep wave. So they still might. Necro is very weak level 1, very susceptible to getting full to 0. But Nightfall had to use stun to protect himself. Save did not walk through lane, considering maybe there is a lane ward. That's smart if that is in his thought process.
But he hasn't shown top, but a nice cookie on a 2 heroes. Can Cuckoo get out of this? The body blocks are there, and Save will finish him off. The return kill attempted by Zephyr is unsuccessful, and it's going to be potentially a second kill. Save gets the double. Nicely done.
And meanwhile, top lane, DM's doing just fine. He's got 3 CS.
Okay.
Spectre CM, pretty passive lane. Yeah, they'll like harass you down a bit, but you're not gonna get zoned out of XP range against a CM plus Spectre.
It's crazy how the ward being in lane, like if it was just over those trees and saw the snap coming in, it's just a totally different outcome there probably. It's such a small little detail. As we'll see DM probably going to struggle up top. Like, yeah, he's got a few CS so far, but playing a 1v2. Yeah, here we go. It's going to be a kill. That's the level 2 timing on the CM, I believe. You mentioned it, Brian. You get the double nuke now. The CM level 2 is just that much stronger.
That's what I'm here for, I think. I'm predicting all these level 2 timings.
Speaking of level 2 timings, it's level 2 on the Snapfire, yeah.
At everybody. Kingslayer, Save, and Nightfall were all level 2 there.
Carl, GPK can't go for the rune because of the Scorched Earth, I guess.
It's the heartbeat creep. He got his bottle delivered, so he has more mana to work with.
Okay. And he saves the water rune. Carl's waiting to see which way GPK goes. He's not going for a water rune because he knows GPK will then go for the other. So Carl's like, I'm going to keep you honest. I'm going to force you to stay here. Save makes a nice rotation. He's now been in like 4 kills. As Carl will head top, which means GPK probably gets to head bottom, but maybe Carl gets both, yeah. GPK doesn't want to miss any CS, so Carl, I believe, gets a double rune here.
Yeah, he is losing a bit out in the level department because there's 6 denies coming out from GPK.
Yep.
But he's going for it.
And I think GPK is just going to accept his fate here. He's trying to get the return kill. Carl has bottle
Very
charges.
fired.
Yep, and has a water rune to go for maybe. Oh, he steals a bounty rune. This is so good from Carl. Well, speaking of Chads on T1, that's some Chad-like mid-play.
Yeah, that was sick. He knew his limits perfectly there.
And
for the people who haven't watched
gets
Dota
the
in a
bottle
while,
refill.
Doom used to have 0 base armor. This hero used to be quite susceptible to that early tower.
Is
dive
GPK
and
dead
stuff.
again?
Yes.
No.
No, he's fine.
Oh.
He's fine.
We're going to find out. He's got Scorched Earth. He might just be dead here.
He's fine.
They're tipping him. They know he's dead. He just TP'd it and died a second time.
I've just got the inner narrative of GPK right now. I'm fine.
He sees a CN there. It's like, okay, it's a CM. It's just a CM, right? I don't remember what this hero does, but it's a weak hero, right?
I don't remember what this hero does. That happens a lot in Dota.
Or you just remember the hero doing like half as much damage or something.
After it's killed you, you're like,
Yeah.
oh yes, that's what that hero does.
This CM has looked solid for T1.
Yeah, no doubt she's super powerful in the early game, as he has not taken a skill in his passive, and I think that's the buffs coming into play.
Yep.
We see they removed 15 mana on Frostbite level 1 and 15 mana on Crystal Nova level 1. And he barely had enough mana to get that kill in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So I have to imagine he's cast enough spells where in the past he wouldn't have had enough.
And T1, we talk about them being a team that often comes back. They're playing the laning stage game. They have managed to crush several of these lanes and continue to play aggressive down bottom, which has been their undoing before, and maybe their undoing again. Nightfall's low. Kind of baits this one a bit. Cuckoo pushes his hero to the limit, gets another death pulse off, but he's still going to go down to saves right clicks.
He did get zoned entirely on the Sven there, so it's not all for naught.
Sven not CSing amazingly well. Okay. It's crazy how getting that Harpy creep mid made such a big difference on the lane.
Yeah, it's one of the most BS parts of Doom, I think, just in general. Like, no matter what lane you're playing, whatever jungle creeps you get can drastically impact if you win or not. But hey, I can be a gambling man myself sometimes. I'm down for a little bit of rolling of the dice. Nightfall. Not too unhappy with what's happened bottom, because he got the early kills, or he's been a part of a lot of kills, I guess you could say. He's 0-0-5, Steve Nash of the carry position. He's going to destroy his own sentry that was blocking the hard camp, and meanwhile tanking a Doom.
First Doom of the game. It's not going to go the way of the Storm, so I imagine GPK is like, thank you, can I deny you? No. Carl does too much right-click damage.
It's like an extra Devour charge there. 290 gold. That was actually a 3x kill streak, so he gets a little bit extra golden XP for that.
I like how Doom has, speaking of gambling, has the voice line for it.
This is perfect.
Fitting. On brand for him. And one hero we haven't talked too much about, Spectre. I mean, that's the hard carry. That's the T1 game plan usually, is pick 23 Savage saying that's going to scale late. Having a perfectly decent laning stage.
Yeah, the funny thing about that gambling line by Doom is I think that had to do with level death. Like, I think that's...
Yep.
Like, he's saying he, like, gambled on what level you are, and you lost. So, I'd have to look into that, but it seems like a very antiquated voice line.
Level death was back in.
Technically it is on the shard, yeah.
Here we go. Big fight breaking out the bottom lane as GPK looks to make his first move. Nightfall again getting pressure, but he's going to look to turn and fight. Dies in the process, and Cuckoo with the Ghost Shroud keeps himself alive. GPK cannot afford to die here. He's been frostbitten, and Whitemon is just controlling everybody. They want the third kill. They lose 23 Savage to get this fight to go their way, but it's well worth it for T1. They'll be more than happy with the outcome. And they may get a fourth kill. Saved, trying to get the hell out of here. I don't know if Carl wants to dive a tier 2 tower. In fact, he's going to worry about Nightfall's TP in. This would be a huge kill if they can get it, but they're not going to, as Carl smartly TPs himself out of there.
Yeah, I said that he usually goes for the hood on Doom so that he can be really aggressive. He was just cutting behind tier 1 tower, forcing reactions such that his Necro can get the tower with a Midas. He's got a Midas on the Doom. So super greedy.
Not feeling
winning.
he's needed. I mean, he hasn't needed the hood.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think that. I feel like he's being able to be super aggressive, like he has the non-greedy item, but he has the greedy item. So the only problem with this Midas is that it might, if he dies sometime in the next like minute or two, that's because he bought a Midas, right?
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't have died if he had just bought some tank ability item. But if he gets away with this greed, it'll pay off massively over the course of like the next 10 to 15 minutes. But yeah, they're already up by 2K.
I mean, that 2K is the Doom. He's 2K net worth ahead of the Shaker, who's the most farmed hero. Carl is monstrous. And that's the thing.
Net worth,
you mentioned, minutes. Yeah, it's like you say if he dies because he has Midas, but it's like you remove that Midas, his net worth is the same as VP's.
True.
We'll see if they can get another kill down bottom. They've got the Reaper's Sight to ball the Frostbite. The damage is not enough. Okara was waiting to see if he came in, but he did the full long distance ball lightning.
I was about to say, there are some Storms that would have died there because they like try to min-max and not spend all of their mana, but he was fully aware that they were all there, or at least committing more heroes to scare him away. So I'm glad he didn't have to die there for his own cockiness or arrogance.
Yeah.
But, man, that Zephyr kill just feels like it doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things.
No.
GP is kind of just getting bullied.
Cuckoo, a solo kill here could matter, but I think he understands the limit of his heroes. And it's top lane where Virtus.pro making their real big move here. Gotta worry about Spectre.
Okay.
Can they burst him down? The Cookie in with DEM, the nice two-man fish, but here comes Cuckoo, and they're gonna turn this one around. DEM tries to TP up, but nope. CM has the Frostbite.
Just
CM chasing for more, yeah.
Whitemon zoning.
Yeah, CM has been super impactful.
He's gonna live out his glory days until he gets two-shotted by a Sven.
Yeah, this is
your moment
before
to be
that. Yeah, I'd say same for Snapfire. Save has been very impactful in this laning stage. Perhaps the one glimmer of hope for VP at times.
Yeah, but feeding that Doom kill when he had a killing spree, really negates a lot of his early game impact. I think from Save. Not to say he was like playing bad, but you're suddenly you just like injected 400 gold into a Doombringer who. You're seeing that kind of pay back exponentially because he got that Midas just a bit earlier, and now that Midas is getting an extra couple usages out of it. And now he's sitting at 6,300 net worth at 10.5 minutes. That might be the most I've ever seen this tournament.
This is one where, we get some of those stat records and see some new numbers being broken from Carl here.
Yeah, that's like 600 GPM. And the game's like barely started the farming portion of it.
All right. We'll maybe update you guys later about some of that. But right now, T1 sitting pretty. It's 9 kills 8, but a 2K gold lead and top 3 cores on their side. Although Sven is not far behind, finally getting some stacks to farm.
What are you doing here, Save? I don't think he thought Zephyr was here. I think he could just like cut this wave and then TP out.
Yeah.
And instead, kind of just giving another Midas usage to the Necro, who doesn't have a Midas, but you know what I mean.
Okay. Carl is just continuing to speed up. 7K plus now. Continues to accelerate, has a BKB queued up. And he's recognizing that bottom lane is maybe a little bit dangerous.
This isn't at like the expense of his teammates either. The next two net worths are his other 2 cores.
And I mean, more than that, he's a mid. Often if you're an offlane team, it's like, okay, leave some farm for the others, but as a mid, you don't really have to share much.
Yeah, but all 3 of their cores are very farm heavy. None of them really do anything else.
Yeah.
None of them are like gankers or something.
They want this CM, but the Doom is there ready, Carl! He baited it perfectly. Oh, they read Virtus.pro like a book.
Are T1 Virtus.pro's kryptonite? Because like they're always trying to do something, right? Like VP always wants to try to make a play happen. And does T1 ever actually make plays?
Was that on a play? I mean, it was a reaction.
What I'm saying
to a play,
is they always bait you to make plays
sure.
onto them, right? Like even just top lane was them TPing in and responding.
And here's
to
another situation. They kind of bait them in here. The CM Freezing Field gets cancelled by a global silence, but T1 were ready for this aggression and are looking to counter it. This time around, though, it doesn't go the way they were hoping for. The pig pole, Carl trying to use that to get out of there. Storm using a lot of mana to ball on in. It's going to be a little bit careful. The overgrowth is there, going to catch up too, but T1 maybe pushing their luck a little bit here, but with numbers now showing up, 23 Savages back in this one, and GPK, he's low on mana. The Sven getting very low himself. He's going to die to the Spectral Dagger. GPK has to get out of here. Luckily dodges the stomp. As the chase is on. The chase is too far. Carl illusion dodge?
Illusion dodge!
Yeah!
You understand, Zephyr. You understand, my friend.
And
that's rubbing salt in the wound to Reaper sight the 5 position. They don't.
That's the
but even that
psychological
play,
damage.
That play started with VP doing something.
Oh yeah.
All these plays are T1 counterplaying.
And it feels like Whitemon is always bottom lane. He was the bait. At top lane, he was the one sitting behind the bait. So he is having a hell of a time.
Yeah, they take turns. You know, the roles and jobs on the team are ever changing.
Yep. Everyone gets to play fishy bait every now and then. So they're hunting for some bigger prey here. The Virtus Pro Polar Bears.
I'm just trying to remember if T1's initiated an engagement a single time this game.
Not really. Not like a big team. I mean, they don't. Who's their initiator? They just don't try to have one.
The
really,
one
right?
time they started a play was when they were diving Nightfall bottom, and that was when they fed like 2 heroes. So I think they've learned that that's just not up their wheelhouse.
Yeah. That one was not bad, right? That was when they killed 3, right, and lost Spectre, the tier 1 bottom. Maybe we're thinking of different ones.
Yeah, I think we're thinking of different ones.
Yeah, there was one where they dived bottom tier 1 and Spectre died, but they got some good kills here. This is VP once again. They're the ones looking to make plays. They'll kill 23 Savage. It always costs them a price, though. Never does it feel like VP are getting a clean kill and getting out.
Still good for VP,
yes.
I think, all considering the fact that they're down by 3K.
This is one they don't want to lose, and VP Nightfall nicely gets out of there. Spidey sense was tingling.
The thing is, when they make that play mid on VP, their goal is, like, we're making space.
Yeah.
And Sven spent the entire time that they got that kill running away from this threat of a smoke game. It's like, it's really good that he avoided it, but T1's doing a great job of just making him spend time running away rather than hitting creeps. And on a hero like Sven, that's so important that he optimizes efficiency. I'm just concerned that we're going to see like a BKB Shiva's Doom, and the Sven's like not even going to have an attack speed item by that point. You know, you obviously have the Blink BKB coming out. He's got the Centaur Stomp already prepared.
Fall in. Immediate global silence. Blink Echo. Have they got the damage here? They do. They commit everything. Then the overgrowth comes in. The counterplay is there with the Spectre Haunt. Can T1 turn this around? It looks like they might be able to get some kills. GPK barely balls to the higher ground as CM's Freezing Field absolutely destroys them here. It's going to get 2 kills in return. Just for a support and an offlaner. Good for T1. Not maybe as many counter kills as they were hoping for with the Storm narrowly escaping. But yeah, you can see there. Whew, that's CM damage.
Yeah, it's like you see the Necro go down and you're like, oh, it did work. And then they just like lose 2 heroes in response. Yeah. And they've now expended global. T1's the ones controlling the map. Yep. They've got Doom available again. They didn't even have it for that fight. Somehow that's went from 3K to 5K in favor of T1, even though they killed the core.
It feels like, yeah, T1 are just ready for every bit of aggressive play from VP. And even though, yeah, VP commit enough that they get that core kill in the Necro, it never ends well for VP.
And he's got the early axe. We see this is like the new meta build for Spectre.
He's always going to be ready to fight now. Let's be a little careful. There's a Radiant Ward on him. He doesn't know that. There's a bit of a move coming his way. Yeah. 23 Savage. The camp respawns, but he's like, I'll leave that till later. Oh no, yeah. He sees a creep wave, though. He's alone. Is he going to go for it?
Does he
He's
have
thinking about it.
Does he have the restraint?
He's thinking about it.
Oh my God, the restraint on this man. That's when you know he's ready to be a TI level character.
Yeah. Him and Nightfall both. We saw Nightfall like TPing away right before the Doom came up to to catch him too, but I may have just jinxed him. Nightfall, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nightfall. I should have said nothing.
Zephyr understands the mind games. You tell him to keep a PMA, and then you toxic tip him. So you're like...
Yeah, is your voice line not inherently by itself a bit ironic?
Yeah, it is. And he's embracing it, and I respect that. He understands. It's only for the classiest of irony. 23 Savage got the Treant behind him, Zephyr, making sure they're just always ready.
VP want to take this fight, though. They don't have the Sven, but they feel like they've got the numbers. Blink, Echo followed up by a Global. They're trying to bring down 23 Savage. It looks like they'll get him. Nothing Treant can do. Yeah, exactly. Can they get out of this one alive? Overgrowth on the Shaker. Meanwhile, Doom, Carl, he wants bigger fish than Kingslayer. He lets the Silencer go as he goes looking for GPK, but the Invis room means he gets out of there.
That's always been my dream as a sport, is to just be such a non-threat that you just get ignored and then you get to TP out. And Doom didn't end up finding anybody.
Yeah.
Storm managed to get far enough away.
So.
Still a 2-for-1 though. Wait, when did Sven die?
No, Sven that was ages ago.
Wait, what? Was the Sven still dead from Reapers?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like I couldn't remember when he died, so it must have been over a minute ago. Man, that feels so bad. My GPM is all I think when I'm dead on the sideline.
Well, VP, they're thinking, my GPK, can you turn this game around for us, please? He's
how's he gonna do that, though?
0, 4, and 5. He's having a rough time. That mid lane was just miserable for him.
Yeah, that Harpy.
Oh, he's trying to make that play happen mid, but needs to be careful. Out of mana, he's on the run. The Fish are going to help get him out of there, but now that means DM's the one perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Does have a blink. Gets out of there, and the Cookie as well, so. Okay, 23 Savage. He's in, he's back out, he's changing his mind. Just getting vision for his team, but they decide not to overkill. They don't want to pull the VP. They don't want to dive too hard and throw the game away as we saw a little bit last game.
Yeah, honestly, as long as they make VP make the plays, I don't think this T1 lineup can falter.
No.
Their lineup is just so good at not allowing you to...
Oh! Reads him like a book. He doesn't know he hit him. He doesn't actually know.
Honestly, the damage is done, though.
Yeah.
Nightfall's pinned on a spot of the map he can't farm. He doesn't feel safe in his own triangle. So, you know, one of Carl's friends, maybe his mom who's watching, I'm sure she is going to tell him that he hit that stun. And he's going to feel really good
His
about
coach.
it. Nah. It's like, it's his mom.
Okay.
Coach is like, yep, he doesn't need emotional support from his coach.
Big shout out to all the players' families who are watching, tuning in. I'm sure some are watching. There's probably family members, brothers, siblings.
I was dead serious.
Parents,
I don't know if you're trying to make a joke out of what I was trying to say.
Maybe the VP family watching the Russian stream, but
true.
T1. Oh, yeah.
They're probably watching the English.
They're probably BSJ fans. They probably watch your stream all the time
yeah,
too.
They're probably keeping it PMA.
Yep. BK.
He's just always. I feel like every time I see him, he's ball lightning away from one of the cores on T1. He's not like dying per se, but he's scared.
Did you see the VP net worth, by the way?
Which hero am I looking at?
The one that's second highest.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Well, I was like, oh, Storm's 6. Okay, his offlaner is slightly ahead of him. I was like, wait, that's not the offlaner.
Somehow I didn't notice that.
He's got the Philly, but he's
true.
also just been the one farming and pushing lanes and getting kills.
It's one of those games where Storm and Sven are cores that just need space, and T1 has been running at those two guys so much. Because they're not like ganking, they're kind of just running at them, you know?
Yeah.
Like none of them are dying in terms of, like Nightfall isn't dying while he's farming. He's just constantly
with a ward. They saw him.
He wasn't farming right here, so this doesn't count.
Yeah. Don't worry. I pulled one. You had to pull one too. We shouldn't talk about Nightfall. Yeah. It doesn't end well.
Sorry, Nightfall.
His parents watching and cursing us for
cursing him.
Yeah, exactly. And VP, they're playing around where they have vision in these high grounds, but T1 are just never really coming into these traps. As Spectre does exactly just that. So. The curses continue, but he's still living armor now. Not going to come out in time. There's revenge kill.
This is like the story of this game.
Yeah.
Kill one guy on T1 because they invest everything, and then lose 2 heroes because the rest of T1 has shown up by that point because it took so long.
It's always Echo plus Global. It's like these 2 super long cooldowns. They kill a pretty high value core, but they lose at least 1, usually 2, maybe 3 heroes. And then they have to play with the spells on cooldown. So now it's like 2 minutes where T1 can take Roshan, take over the map. They don't really take Rosh well, but they can just do whatever they want here.
Yeah, this is conceptually a really cool draft by T1 that I didn't understand at first, but I always have to be reminded of this for some reason. A lot of people think of Storm's main issue as mana, like as a hero, that's what he runs into, but it's actually the fact that his mana runs out before he can kill you. So it's like damage issues. That's his issue. And he's against Tree, Spectre, Necro, Doom. How do you ever have enough damage?
Infernal Blade damage. That was so cool.
Damage.
He actually didn't right-click right after Hoofs. He waited so he could like chain the stun on his Infernal Blade. That was actually so cool indeed. Sven trying to go in and kill this pesky CM.
Bad.
The CM just using the Shadow Amulet to stay alive. Whitemon, he gets healed up, then he gets a freezing field off. Oh no, Virtus Pro. They get rocked. Absolutely rocked.
When you are getting dangled on by a CM, that is not good.
This may just be entering GG territory. This game just feels like psychologically damaging for VP. They've had such a good day one. They're still in a perfectly fine position as he TPs out in front of them.
He didn't even have to TP there. The Storm was still dead for 5 seconds.
Yeah. He just wanted to go back, get some items or something.
That was efficiency, I think. He wanted to like get back to base ASAP so that he could run back out as fast as possible.
To abuse his Midas.
Of course, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Faster Midas.
Not to run at heroes, but
No.
to Midas. Yeah.
You talking to me?
Oh, I actually thought I actually thought you said something, but I was just Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
The stench of death is upon
Still hard to get used to when it's your guys' voice in the game, like other casters that I spend time with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still hard to get used to.
Well, for T1, I mean, they got the win last game, but this game has been even more dominant and even more impressive. Like, this game, I am impressed by T1 and how they're playing.
Oh, they're just playing way better. Like, they're just straight up being better.
Yep. Oh, another Spectre Hall play. Cuckoo has the Reaper. It won't get the Reaper kill, but it will get the kill.
It's even better because he gives the kill to Savage.
Okay.
So it's, yeah, you're not giving the respawn time penalty, but is he even using his life for anything on Nightfall at this point? I don't think he's really hitting creeps. And good to see that Carl's enjoying himself this game. He blinks on a cliff and he can appreciate his own looks, as he says he's a handsome devil.
So,
Hey-oh.
That's the one.
And another one.
That's also the one. You can see T1 are just tipping all over the place, using voice lines. They're films. And against VP, you kind of have to do that because I think VP, they're alongside OG are probably the 2 most like voice line heavy teams.
Yeah, you can't take it, you can't dish it out, you know?
This is a series VP are going to want to forget and move on from. After a 5-1 day 1, they are going to open up day 2 potentially with a 0-2.
This is such a VP thing. Like, no matter what, you can't take the organization out of the team, you know? Like, it's just such a thing to go 5-1 and then go against the team that's 0-4 and lose 2 games. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, I'd say T1's way better than what you
Blink Echo with a nice cookie follow up in the Global Silence. They'll kill 1, the Necro. Can they get both here? 22 Savages bouncing around with the Haunt. And it looks like DM getting low, trying to use the invis. There's going to be a ball in, but he's got the Aeon Disc. No, they're going to get the kill. Nicely played there, but the Spectre doesn't end up going down just yet. 23 Savage. Have they got the damage for this one? Oh, Carl, he's on a monster kill. He's just destroying everyone. GPK just staying in those trees.
Does he have a TP on Storm?
He's got some mana, but no TP and no TP. I don't think they seem to know he's there.
Yeah, but where does he go from here?
Cut a wave or something,
yeah,
maybe?
I was going to say, wait for the next creep wave?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
the stench of death is upon you.
I was going to say, I think T1's much better than the average team you'd see at 0-4. So I guess it's not like that bad on the side of VP, but the fact is, you know, you're going to if you're gonna reliably make upper bracket, you can't be dropping 2-game series to teams that are starting in the lower parts of the bracket.
Still, as far as places to go, if they walk away 5-3 after this series, like, you know, that's still that winning record that may get you the upper bracket. But
I'm just saying now you're suddenly in a spot where you lose one game to one of the other top 4 teams, and you might be dropped out because of this series.
Oh, for sure. No, you have to definitely not take anything for granted here. Upper bracket is, of course, the goal. Nice to obviously win your group. You get to, I believe, pick your opponent. That's usually how it works. As T1 looking just to bounce back and get their second win of the group stage, and they're going to get the kill and save. They commit the Reaper for good measure, and they'll take out the Tier 2 tower.
This is a big series for T1. You know, we were talking about Alliance yesterday coming back from their 0-4, but for T1, much less experienced players.
Yeah.
So I think it's even more important for players like this that, I mean, I'm just imagine, right? They come out of this series and they're 0-6. This is just weird at this point.
Yeah.
Zephyr's now my officially favorite player in all of TI. This guy says keep it PMA more than I do. But I was just gonna say that imagine being 0-6 coming out of this series with VP. I think T1 would be in the dumps. You know, like they'd be sad. I have to imagine.
Dota's such a momentum game. It could literally they could just ride this and, you know, go win most of their games today and tomorrow and suddenly be like a top 2, top 3 team in the group stage. It's entirely plausible. We've seen it before at TIs, and 23 Savage is going to chase down Kingslayer. Yeah. And for VP, they, you know, were a 5-1 team and lose now to a 0-4 team. T1, like you say, not your traditional 0-4 team, but ultimately for VP, you know, if they can get upper bracket, main event is, you know, the goal for all these teams, like doing well in the main event.
Yeah, T1 can still absolutely get upper bracket themselves. You know, they've only lost 4 games. They could easily go like a total of 8 or 6, something like that.
Yep. You play 18 games, right? No, 14. You play 14, okay. We play 8 opponents, but no, 16.
Oh, wait, no, I was thinking 8 group.
Yeah,
16.
per group.
Yeah, you're right. 16 games. So, I would guess that up around 50% win rate is going to be good enough to get you top 4. Just because...
Well, 4 out of 9 teams, so maybe slightly above 50%.
Yeah,
just 4 out of 9,
Yeah, I guess it's probably like minimum 9 and 7.
Yeah. I think 8-8, unless you have like a super even. 8-8 probably won't quite cut it. 9-7 will be like maybe tiebreaker, or might get you in.
We're seeing some pretty crazy results today so far.
Yeah.
So I definitely didn't expect the 2-0 from T1. I was honestly hopeful they'd win 1 game in this series.
Not 2-1, not 2-0 yet, Brian. They do the caster thing where.
If I managed to make that a caster curse, that would be impressive.
We'll list the game and 1%. It's 1%. So I've seen 0, and 0 has won games before at TI.
True.
Name you.
And I was just gonna say that on the other screen over here, I see Aster's also currently beating OG.
Yep.
They won the first game, and they're winning the second game pretty handedly.
That
and
is...
guess what they have? They have Doom Treant.
There we go. It's the hero.
Team.
I don't know if they won game 2, but Alliance were winning game 2 against EG. They lost game 1, but so I mean that's the thing. They started 0-4, won 2 games. That confidence booster can suddenly turn around your whole group stage. So Spectre, they find Nightfall. Oh boy.
You know, honestly,
dude, this Spectre act is just insane. That constantly finding these heroes.
When you're ahead, it looks.
Oh, that Echo Slam is not going to cut it. Reaper gets the kill on the Shaker, and yeah.
Keep drawing out this game, VP, because Zephyr is giving me some free advertisement right now.
And 23 Savage is giving me some free fantasy points.
I believe I have. Who do I have on T1? I think I have Carl.
Ooh.
Okay, that's the Wombo combo.
For who? The 5v1 Wombo combo from T1. At this point, GPK is like, yeah, 4-man Vortex.
He's like padding his stun numbers on the fantasy.
That's true. He's helping out the people who put him in there. That stun number's worth more than the death, I think. I'm not entirely sure how the numbers work.
I have absolutely no clue how they work. I would imagine deaths are probably pretty costly for 4 players.
Get the Doom out. Carl has been my MVP for this game, the way he crushed that mid lane. Him or the CF, but both those two have been fantastic.
Yeah, I think the fact that he won his lane and was allowed to go Midas while also having like a presence on the map is just like it's just too much. You can't let him get away with that.
Are you sad to see the fountain buffs? If that was, you know, like a year ago, they would have dove the fountain there.
Talking to me?
Part of me like has the nostalgia of just being able to be impervious because the fountain was really wimpy, but I do think it's important to have somewhere you can call home.
Yeah,
Some
encourage
semblance of
PMA
safety.
gameplay.
Yes, indeed. Of course.
Well, yeah.
I was about to say, I hope they GG soon, just because this looks painful.
And the way they were playing when the Storm zipped into 4 heroes, I think for VP, they'd already kind of mentally GG'd out.
Yeah, they got the 4-man stun into the death of the
Yeah.
Storm. That's when you know you're pretty much doomed, literally.
Wow, congratulations T1, 0-4 day 1, and they start day 2. It's just 2-0. They can't just...
This is a big 2-0.